please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Mr. Sriram Kalyanaraman, the MD and CEO of National Housing Bank, joins us. Hi, sir. Thanks so much for joining in today. Well, the government has told you to start a fund under NHB for affordable housing segment. What is the update on that front with regard to the corpus, who will invest, and so on? Give us some details, sir.
The contours of this fund are still being worked out. The finance bill is yet to be passed in the parliament. Let them get it approved. The contours is, as of now, I would say this is work in progress. And we would let you know as soon as the things are crystallized in this front.
Okay. So now let's get to the report. Some red flags have been raised on the asset quality in the affordable housing segment. Your take on it?
See, you just heard, for example, one of the company's CEOs who is in the lowest of the lowest segment say there is NPA, but it doesn't get into loss rates because if it's a good harvest, the farmers come and pay you. Now, the lowest of the segment has always been a bit higher than the normal average of 1.5, 1.6%. So to say it's coming because of affordable housing trust is not a right thing. Yes, the lower income group always get affected by changes in economy, changes in agriculture patterns, so on and so forth. So expect a little bit of higher delinquency there, but at least from what we understand from the housing finance companies which work on this front, there is no loss rates. And this is not a new trend. It has always been, the low segments have always been showing higher trend than normal.
All right, so just hold on to that thought, sir. We just have to do a quick market check, actually. We have a few stocks that are getting a bit of a knock, and that explains why the Nifty has broken the 10,550 odd mark. GAIL has taken a bit of a knock. We have ONGC as well that slipped. But I think the reason that, in fact, we have moved to the low point of the day would be because one of the bigger boys, I think HDFC, that's one of the largest weightages on the index, and I think that's taken a knock, and that's what could have single-handedly brought about that 10 to around 15-point fall. Exactly, that's the stock that in fact has dragged in the index. In fact, now it's down closer to around 10 points, and it's accounting for nearly 25% of the total losses that we're seeing on the Nifty. So HDFC is the stock you should keep on your radar. The Nifty Bank, by the way, has slipped 220 points. But well, let's get back to the conversation we were having with the MD of NHB. Well, sir, with the GDP growth at around that 6% odd mark, a couple of housing finance companies are growing at around 30% odd. Are you comfortable with the same?
See, I would only see whether they are adopting to the policies, they are following the policies and regulations. Where they want to grow, what segment they are growing, what is the credit policy they follow is left to their board and to their management. Probably it only shows there is enough market in this country, which I have always been saying, that it is a huge untapped market and they are finding their segments to grow in.
So also, in this whole LAP segment, which is a loan against property, there's been some concerns which has been raised by ICRA, especially with respect to the self-employed category. High churning, viability, etc. have been in question amongst a lot of the industry experts. Is that something that you might be worried about? See, when the SME segment goes through a little bit of stress, for whatever reason, then the LAP, or the loan against property, which mainly constitutes, or the money would have gone to the self-employed group, would show some stress. Having said it, we are watching that segment closely, and if there is a very serious trend of alarming things, we would take necessary action.
Well, sir, final question before we let you go. Well, you have issued many new HFC licenses in the past, 2 to around 3 years. Don't you think this will lead to hyper competition and increase risk-taking? We're already seeing a lot of failures in this space from the recent entrants who are showing, now they're showing higher NPA, sir. Your view?
Yeah, let me clarify this. I have not relaxed any of the licensing conditions prescribed by National Housing Bank. All that we had done as a team is make it quite transparent. We do follow up with the other regulators where it is needed regularly, and we do upload as soon as the application is received with the right papers. We do upload in our website and then follow up that process in a time-bound manner. The interest on housing by PEs, by various other people, is mainly due to the thrust given by government on Prime Minister Awas Yojana, and as I always said, the untapped potential of the housing market, especially at the lower segments in this country.